Breaking news: Yoruba is an official language now in Brazil. Oduduwa's nation marching forward, and more is being known. Internationally, Yoruba is no longer just a tribe in Nigeria. It is also now being recognized as an official language even in Brazil. What does that says? Remember, we also have a portion of Yorubas as well in Cotonou and some other countries around, but now in Brazil as well. The tentacles are spreading, and Oduduwa's republic is becoming a major force to be reckoned with. Don't forget that the person of Professor Banji Akintoye is doing what we call the paper documentation, which is important if any country wants to become known, recognized, and a force to be reckoned with. Brazil is that place where we have a lot of black people, and a lot of Nigerians are there, especially Yorubas. And now it is becoming an official language. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. So subscribe if this is your first time. Let's get all the details. Yoruba becoming is already an official language in Brazil. Brazil Minister of Culture has announced that Yoruba will become one of their official languages, and African history will be added into school curriculum. Imagine in Brazil that they add that into school curriculum. Nigeria will not know anything about the civil war that took place in this country for 3 years. We don't know the people that died, what led to it being taught in school, so that to be a fundamental principle people will understand, so that it can heal. If it needs to heal, it can rectify, it can, people will have a basic, rather than people telling us different stories. The government of Nigeria responsibility far from them. Brazil has accumulated quite a number of Yoruba speakers and Orisha worshippers. The African slaves from the West carried along their Yoruba religion, with which they were brought to Brazil. This religion is referred to as the Candomblé by Afro Brazilians, a religion that seeks harmony with nature. This culture and religion is still very much relevant and gives birth to the Orisha worshipping and Yoruba speaking people of Brazil. Last week at Ayo, after a national meeting of African Brazilian storytellers, it was alleged that the Brazilian Minister of Culture, Dr. Sangol, announced that Yoruba is now one of their official languages, and language and African history will be introduced as part of the compulsory subject in primary and secondary school curriculum, so they can understand the history from a young age. However, the Brazilian Minister of Culture has said they will keep updating people as changes and everything comes on board. In attendance of this meeting were big names such as the renowned known Professor Wole Soyinka, Dr. Stephanie Oluwole, the first female PhD holder in Yoruba physiology, and painter and illustrator Adeyinka Aloye. This is move. This move is a great one, as it will bring Afro-Brazilian closer to their roots and help them understand the link between the current Brazil practice and the West African culture. Oduduwa's republic is something big in Brazil, as the people affiliate and participate in cultural display in this country, and now this is becoming official. So my people, Oduduwa don't they get a leg, they go everywhere. Say Yoruba people, they almost every country. I'm not saying that they every country, I mean in the world. And guess what, this one is becoming really big, because right now it's not just one of those tribes. Is becoming well known, recognized, also a force to be reckoned with. And it's big. Yes, when it's big, it's big. You don't, I mean, there is no you don't shy about it. You're not being proud, but it is what it is. Yes, it's big, it's big. So this is what is happening currently at the moment. Yoruba is becoming one of the official language. Why this is going on? Why people are talking about all this that is happening? What is happening in the very own country? The very country where these things are happening from should be celebrating their own, putting things in place for the children to understand the culture. Do you know that our history being taught in school is not robust enough? It does not capture things that have happened. For instance, the ancient Benin Kingdom. There are things that we have lost. There are basic, some fundamental things. The war, the civil war that broke out in Nigeria, the amalgamation of Nigeria, 1960, how the coup started, who started the coup, the plots. We need to be taught these things. They should be incorporated so we'll understand the history. Even in modern days, some of the things that have been happening, who keep record of these things? For instance, now this woman, Alice, former Minister of Petroleum, those things should be there. So she's alive and she's seeing her life in black and white. The whole world seeing to her, telling her this is, so the children knows that this is what they do. This is, so it brings about what we call a correction, a correct perspective of what life should be. So when people now have the opportunity of leadership, you don't want to be seen in history, because that is how you will go down in history. This is what will be said concerning you. Everybody will be careful. Everybody will sit up. You don't want your name to be soiled. But Buhari now, the things he's doing, how he's borrowing, should all go down in history. Pantami, how a well-decorated Pantami, his affiliation with Al-Qaeda and the rest should be in the documentation book. What Boko Haram are doing one time in Nigeria, how things should be there. These are things we don't shy away from. What will that do? It will go a long way to ensure that as people live their life, they are careful. Because whether they should, this is what National Assembly should be talking about, rather than putting things on how to fortify their wealth stolen, their loot from the country, or how they can become untouchable. These are things that they should bring emotion on. The bill should be passed. Every administration, as soon as they are over, good luck Jonathan, he handed over, they said Buhari won, he did not contest. Such things should be there. So people tomorrow can learn from it to say, okay, it's a game. You don't win, the next person won. The proper thing to do, this was what one person, good handshake. Go and check the history of Johannesburg. Go and check in the library of South Africa. You will see what great Nelson Mandela did. The history of South Africa will not be written without it. Abasha's loot should be there. Guys, leave us a comment. God bless you. I beg may not forget to like us, so make you still share. Subscribe. Click on the notification button so you go hear all our latest news. Bye for now.